Roller coaster ride. It's a roller coaster ride, y'all. Woo, it's a roller coaster ride. Ooh,
I know they heard. I know they heard that, so they already know it's already about time.
It's the ninja in this thing. It's the ninja in this thing. Y'all know how that ninja be.
Oh! I think that's why my head got bigger was because of that.
That ninja held that 6 flag, boy. Boy, that thing held on your neck, boy.
Exactly, man. But what's going on, people? What is going on, man? You got the AFN boys coming in with the terrible twosome for Friday Night Madness. As you know, y'all may already know. I know you hear that in the background. That's Miss Maggie T over there looking at a hole in my head talking about hurry your ass up. It's your boy K Styles, aka the Six Man, aka the Fat Man. And we're going to my stage right today. As you see who this is, of course, y'all know him by now. Mr. Mad Mike Sports, the mad scientist, the great one.
Absolutely.
What's going on, people? How we doing this evening? What's going on, Mike? Well, how we gonna do this today?
Oh boy, I want to do a little something real quick. Everybody in the comment section, all right, do us a favor right now. All right, we want to know what. And this is just real quick. All right, just let everybody know. I want to know this. All right, what can we do better on our live shows to kind of make it, like what is some, throw some a little bit more time for Q&A. Like what suggestions do you guys have? Like you want to add a little something, or do you guys like, what we doing? Like we really need. I put a question in the community tab, so if you guys can kind of go there, or you can add something here, kind of take some notes and whatnot. But we want to be able to better serve you guys as far as our show is concerned. So help us out. Give us some feedback. All right. But let's get straight to it, man. Go ahead.
I'm about to say you want to get the roll call out the way before we get that.
Yeah, go ahead and get the roll call.
We got to do the roll call, man.
We got to get
exactly. These the people here. Like I said, man, y'all already coming in heavy today though, but definitely we're gonna start off like this. We got Tail Sports and Gaming in the building. We got Dynamite. We got Bucs Skull Game in the building. We got Atlanta Nation, Georgia, Texas boys, Stewie Rock, Jermaine Johnigan, Asia Green, Brian Peoples, Lyrics, Mom is in the building, Michael Walker, Delayed J, Jonathan Bell, Tony Hall, Blizz 818, Prove It, Millie Mills, DD, Polar DTV, T.Y. Hall, Daniel N. We got Bubble Gump. We got Eric McDowell, Ephraim Jones. I think I said Joseph Thornton. We got Dreddy, Dan the Man, and Lucas Strichter.
Let's do this real fast. We won't be able to do anything tomorrow. I may do it, but I want to get this out of the way, and have about 10 seconds moment of silence, because it is coming on that day. All right, tomorrow is the day, 9/11. So we're gonna sit here for about 10 seconds, and kind of give a moment of silence for all those people who lost their lives in the Twin Towers. I know you guys have not forgotten that. I definitely haven't forgotten that, because my aunt have so many people in New York, family in New York, and it was definitely a tragedy. So that's coming up, and let's get that 20-second real quick. All right. All right. All right. We ain't praying, god dang it. I said, look, a moment of silence, okay? Reminisce.
Hey, that's how I do it, man. That's when you in feng shui mode. But let's go ahead and get into the damn thing. What you got for us, Mike? What are we
We might
talking
as
about?
well we might as well get straight into it. No. Excuse me for my evil
Boy. Do I need to go ahead and put the picture up so they'll know what the hell we talking about?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh Lord,
oh
Jesus.
boy.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. Oh man, that shit just brought bad memories from that game last night. Oh my god. My bad. But bruh, I'm gonna just tell you, man. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that. Hey, look, that definitely. Look, I'm about to say that definitely. But the thing about it was they were still close enough to where they could have won the game. But, bruh, that defense, it was the bend over defense, boy. It wasn't bend over. They were trying to call it bend over last night. I said that was bend over. But yeah, look, ATM already know what we was going on. The Sugi Honda Emerald. Exactly.
Oh boy. Hey, man.
But my question to you is, I know both defenses didn't look good last night. As though we saw both quarterbacks throw the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've kind of noticed that too. So what was your take as far as how did you feel about the game itself outside of the bend over defense that we saw?
Despite the the obvious rust on both sides of the ball, like that's to be expected. It's all seriousness. This is exactly what I expect to happen for both teams, to be honest, because it really hasn't had a lot of preseason games. You haven't had a lot of training camp isn't like it once was. This is new NFL. They're trying to get away from a lot of these injuries, the head trauma, and rightfully so. I think what the NFL was back in the day, they did things, just to be quite honest, back in the day, that just wasn't legal. Like, they did not take care of a lot of players, and a lot of players, like, still to this day, they suffering physically for it. So I like where they're going with the training camp. I know it's unpopular with a lot of players, a lot of fans. They want to see these guys in training camp. They feel as though like they should be, but I honestly don't think so. We got to take care of these players because like this is these players are getting faster, stronger, quicker, bigger, and like these guys, the collisions, like we see it in college, we see it in the NFL. These collisions are something serious now. So like I like the way that it's going. But with that said, I expected that the defenses to come out. I don't want people to get too excited with either quarterback because Dak is a great quarterback. Tom Brady is a great quarterback, but this is just week one. All right, we're talking about the defenses. It takes time for the defenses and the offenses, even the offensive line, defensive line to catch up to the speed because a lot of these guys are still getting they win. They still getting their cardio up. Like these guys haven't played, and at some point in time, and I hear everybody already talking about, see, that's what the GOAT do. The GOAT. Calm down, people. It's week one. He's still 43 years old. All right. This is a marathon. And like we're talking about players like Julio Jones is still in their 30s, and it takes him a while to bounce back from week to week. So I know Tom Brady looked good. Even though he threw 2 interceptions, I didn't think they were his like it was really his bad throws. It was just things that happened. The tip pass that should have been caught, and the Hail Mary. Obviously, that's just a chance. So he threw 2 interceptions, but like that's not real interceptions. Let's be honest. So like what I saw from both teams, what I did not like from Dallas is they had absolutely no pressure. They look exactly like we look. And I'm not trying to be funny at all. I'm being completely serious. They look exactly like the 2000 Falcons. All right. All offense, pass the ball, and defense. They play good for 3 quarters, and that 4th quarter come, they fall apart. So that's like, I feel sorry for Dallas fans. I'll just say that y'all got a great offense. Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know what's going on there. I was sorely disappointed in the offensive play calling. They passed the ball 58 times. 58 times. That's not going to be cut out.
And that's not counting the plays that he kind of scrambled on too. So you could pretty much call it about 60 damn passes. But I was going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask a lot of people. Did y'all notice that Dallas was switching a lot of linebackers in and out? Did you notice that? So I don't know if they not finding that right combination. Okay, we know Michael Parsons is out there, but it's like for the other 2 linebackers, it was like they was constantly switching out. Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, Keanu Neal, other guy. It was just like like they tried to move Michael Parsons out and I kind of agree with you on that. Like I said, I kind of felt like, but I think I understand what they tried to do with it was they was trying to neutralize the big hogs that Tampa Bay got up front. So they went with the quick pass. They went with a passing game that was resemblance of a running game. So we had to look at those short passes. They were running play. They was kind of running plays, even though they counted passing plays. But yeah, like I said, I would rather have Zeke be involved a little bit more. I mean, especially if you just paid him a couple years ago to be involved.
Yeah. So and like I said, that's my biggest pet peeve is that you're paying a guy that much money and you're not using him. Just like what's the point? Like I said, it's week 1. Another thing for Dallas, they lost their right tackle for
5 games.
Collins. Yeah, they lost Collins. So it's going to be, for me, it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Hey man,
I don't like what I saw. I just don't like what I saw defensively. Like they had a rotation at middle linebacker. How the bloody hell do you have a rotation at middle linebacker? I could say outside, but middle linebacker. Look, Michael Parsons had no clue what he was doing at middle linebacker. That dude was going left, right, circle. That man was out there like he was running what you call that? That scrum. The agility drill with it, and like, bro, what are you doing? So it was just an absolute mess, man. I feel sorry for Dallas. It's gonna be a long year defensively for them.
All right, so if people don't see at the bottom of the screen, we got Mr. Noah Tyndale joining us on this Friday night madness. Noah, what's happening, man?
Oh, what up? I don't know.
What? Man, not much.
What you got, bro? What you got on the Dallas? What you got on the Dallas? What was your take on the game?
I can barely hear y'all, but hang on. I really wanted to jump on this conversation. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you okay.
Yeah, I just really wanted to hop on this conversation with y'all. I don't know what everyone was going on about as far as like, oh my goodness, Tampa Bay won this game. And I was like, man, you did not watch the same game as I did. Dallas had so many opportunities for the next game.
Oh, Miss Maggie, I'm gonna cut you off right here. Miss Maggie is not gonna be happy, so I'm gonna just save the time.
Yeah,
I already see her eye rolling right there.
I know y'all don't see it, but it's like a gaze at my forehead right now that she's giving me.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it over here.
Like I said, anime looking like she's trying to DDT somebody.
Yeah, Miss Maggie ain't trying to hit.
Anime. Hey. you are giving the face. You're doing it right now. All right. But yeah, like I said, it was kind of be expected. It was a rust game. Like you said, preseason, most of the players didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Quit passing game. That's all they did was to get them in rhythm. You still there, Noah?
Yeah, I think I got muted.
Okay, that's better. All right, whatever you did, that's better.
All right, yeah, go ahead, man. What you got?
So yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay. I saw this before. Like Tampa Bay really kept them back in the game. That second quarter, like the last drive that Dallas had, that was the most Dallas Cowboys drive I've ever seen. The way that they were like. They looked so good. They got there like at the 19-yard line. Then Dak then rolled to his left, took a terrible sack, then had a holding penalty, couldn't complete the pass, then tried to go for a 60-yard field goal, which I don't know why they would have done that had they just punted and just not given Brady a chance to score at the 50-yard line. I mean, it worked out in the end, but like you can only imagine what would have happened had Mike Evans or Gronk caught that second quarter Hail Mary. Like that was just unpredictable. Just the fact that he put the ball in Brady's hands at the end of the game, where we saw that before with the NFC Championship game. Like it was just you just don't do that. You don't give Brady's offense extra opportunities, not just for the sake that he's like the GOAT right now out the gate, but just you don't want your offense, you don't want your defense to be out there having extra plays to be had, because that's just going to leave them exhausted. That's going to leave them with less momentum coming in the half. And then you, on top of that, Greg Zuerlein, I heard he had back surgery, and so he wasn't feeling too confident in his kicking ability at the moment. He missed that 31-yard chip shot. I was so frustrated. It just kind of makes you glad that we have a competent kicker finally. But, yeah, he missed that extra point. He missed another field goal. I mean, Dallas left so many points on the board. There was that 3rd and goal where Dak and Zeke were running a speed option, and Zeke tried to make a spin move on Andrew Adams and got tackled. I'm like, that was not good. Mm-hmm. How are you supposed to be praising yourself this entire offseason how you got your body better and still got tackled by a backup safety? But anyways, I thought the offensive line did okay. It's just good enough on Dallas's side. I almost got interrupted. Anyway, but on Dallas's side, Connor Williams had a really hard time trying to defend Vita Vea. He was having some desperate holding calls, which is something that I don't if you're Jalen Mayfield, if you're Matt Hennessy, you better be taking notes about what the rest of that Dallas offensive line did, because just for the simple fact that Vita Vea got some pressure.
Whoa. Let me ask you a question. What's the Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman name again?
Was it Connor Williams?
Connor Williams? Is he very good?
I think at the moment right now, he might have the same experience as far as comparison to Jalen Mayfield. I think that both of them are going to equally struggle against the 347-pound Vita Vea. I don't think that's a fair matchup between one of the best defensive tackles in terms of run stuffing.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, you go back and watch the games against Tampa Bay. The Falcons didn't have a lot of issues with Vita Vea when they played him. So even with the young, and I'm just going to be honest. At this point in time, I think and I could be wrong, but he can't be any worse than James Carpenter and Jamon Brown. I'm just gonna say it right off the top. He can't be any worse than right there. So, and a lot of people, this is something that I said last year. I said multiple times is that we gave Alex Mack way too much credit last year. That dude did not play like an All-Pro. He was getting handled. He was getting manhandled all year long. We got a lot of pressure coming off of him. He just wasn't the same guy as pass protection. He was getting bullied. He wasn't quick enough. He's already a small guy. So it's like Matt Hennessy actually, like when you're playing a guy, Ndamukong Suh, you're paying guys, I forget the guy's name for the Saints. But he's a very good defensive tackle even for the Saints. So when you have those guys and you're playing some quality linemen, you played against a guy like Aaron Donald, Chris Lindstrom, he played well, Hennessy. You playing guys like that, man. Like, is it like, should we really be concerned with Vita Vea? Like, should we really be concerned? Or should we be as concerned with guys like Shaq Barrett? I thought Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh were a little bit more dominant in that game because Suh was taking on, like Suh was all over that line. I don't know if people were paying attention, but like Vita Vea had a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and usually when you got one-on-one opportunities as a defensive tackle, like you're gonna eat. You're gonna see. That's why Vita Vea got one-on-one. You saw him one-on-one with the guard. So it's like, and Ndamukong Suh was wreaking havoc. So it's like, that's when you see guys like that, if he's really that good, why isn't he getting double? Why is it he one-on-one with the guard?
So the way that I see it, like if we were to face Tampa Bay right now, the way that they were positioning Vita Vea on the line is that they would probably have him like in between Mayfield and Hennessy, and then that would kind of provide Ndamukong Suh with a one-on-one matchup with Chris Lindstrom. Then you got your outside matchups. Like I also saw JPP play like zero tech sometimes, just standing up.
Hold on.
I think you going back.
Yeah, you're going in and out. We'll get that right. We'll get that right. But the Travis, what's going on, LT?
What's happening?
Hey, it's the homemade LT.
What's going on, Styles?
Hey, yeah, this is LT. If y'all don't know, not the coke smoker, not the coke sniffer. This the player partner right here. This is the LT player partner. What's going on, man?
Man, what's good with y'all boys tonight, man?
Shit, we good, man. Well, what you got to say on that?
About the Tampa game?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
I will back up what Mike said about the Vita Vea situation. Like he had a lot of one-on-ones, but he really didn't really stand out like he should have. And like you said, it was Ndamukong Suh being Ndamukong Suh per usual. But I mean, overall assessment, if any Falcon fan think that we can't beat that team, you're not a real fan. Because with bad coaching last year, we should have beat them. And for what I've seen last night, unimpressed. Very unimpressed.
Okay. But hey man, I know we kind of got on this topic right here, but I know the people really came in here to see what they want to talk about this upcoming game. This is why I want to hear what you got to say on this one.
Oh, but I was playing Philadelphia. Well,
yeah.
Unfortunately, our good buddy that's above me didn't listen to what I had to say.
Wow, Satcho, you better not come on here with that nonsense.
If he would have listened, he would have easily avoided what he had to go through a couple of days ago. But I hope as a fan of football, and I know people might think I may be on homer saying this, but I definitely see us winning this game Sunday. And I know, of course, a lot of people gonna say, "Well, you being a homer, you like the Falcons, whatever the case may be." No, Philly, y'all got a lot of issues. Don't get me wrong. We have a new head coach just as well as y'all have a new head coach. But then your usual starting QB is in Indianapolis. Now you have Jalen Hurts. And he only played in a couple games last year, and for the most part, for what I saw. But now you got tape on you, along with you going against a legendary defensive coordinator in Dean Pease, who is, by the way, a two-time Super Bowl champion, which he helped lead the 04 Patriots defense and led the 2012 Baltimore Ravens defense. So, with that being said, Jalen Hurts gonna be seeing a lot of things come Sunday, and it ain't gonna be pretty. Offensively, I don't know who y'all running backs is. Besides, if I think I got that boy, Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Like other than that, like I don't know who y'all running backs are. Don't know your receiving core.
Yeah.
Who?
Kenneth Gainwell. Somebody
Oh,
else.
okay.
I don't outside of Miles Sanders, I don't really know nobody like that.
Right. I mean, receiving core, same situation. If I'm not y'all, I think they still got what the time was it, Zach Ertz?
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. I mean, he could be he could be formidable if he's healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That, like the word on the street in Philadelphia is that he's lost a step because of a knee injury. So it's like, yeah, he can catch the ball, but is he another version of Jason Witten?
I would consider Dallas Goedert more of a threat right now.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that. Okay, so like that, now that's the offensive line. You know, you got Kelsey, but Kelsey is up there in age. He been battling injuries the last couple of seasons. Defensively, Fletcher Cox and a couple other notable names in that front. But your secondary, man. Listen, man, Ryan lit that secondary up the last few times he played y'all. So if your line can't do what y'all done to the Falcons line in years past, is pretty much dominate our offensive line, which I'm going to tell you now, you're not gonna do that. This is not Dan Quinn offensive led Dirk Cutter, or whoever you want to call it. It's none of that. Like Arthur Smith won't give y'all the opportunity to dominate our O line like that. So y'all will put up a fight at first, and then I feel like at some point the game gonna start to kind of get out of reach, which we probably win by, I'll say, by 2 scores. Now the actual score I don't know, but I can see us definitely winning by 2 scores.
I can see that. Go ahead, K-Side.
No, I was saying their best bet, and I've always said, we've already said, their defensive line don't get the pressure right away. That secondary about to get their asses torched.
I mean, I don't think that matters. I keep telling people, I don't know why this is such an issue. It doesn't freaking matter if Matt Ryan is getting pressure. He's been getting it all his career.
Right.
He's been getting pressured all his career. And all of a sudden, in 2021, it's supposed to make a difference. He's been getting hit even in the Super Bowl. I keep telling people all the time, the only thing good about that 2016 offensive line is they were absolutely cohesive in the running game. But pass protecting, they was absolute garbage. Look at the numbers. Matt Ryan got hit about 130 times that year. That's what people don't realize.
Definitely below average. I would definitely agree to that.
Yeah. They just got they were just blessed that they was rolling Matt Ryan out just enough the way he didn't get hit 200 times.
200 times.
And like I said, people got blinded by the big plays that we was making, not realizing, like, you know, like you said, Matt was pretty much under duress a lot that year. I mean, but Matt is one of, if in my humble opinion, probably the best QB to throw the ball under pressure. And I know folks might feel like that's false, but that's not false. Matt has seen enough pressure in his experience. He know how to throw the ball when he's under duress and still make plays. So, I mean, like I said, like I said, I know both teams got new coaching staff, but I definitely could say that the Falcon talent to me is better than Philly talent, and definitely our coaching staff is better than Philly's coaching staff, and that's just my humble opinion.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what was the background about Nick Sirianni and their defensive coordinator. I think it was he goes by JG for some reason. Well, I know it's for some reason it's his initials, but anyways, like they both were. So like the role that Dave Ragone has on our as the offensive coordinator right now is what Nick Sirianni was for Frank Reich over in Indy. So he was just kind of like the man that was like, oh, if Frank had a responsibility that needed to be delegated for the offense, then he would give it to Nick Sirianni. He wasn't the one that was actually calling the plays. So this is going to be his first time, like, using his own game plan and then being able to call the plays on his own too. And on the other side of that, you have their defensive coordinator who was formerly the secondary coach for Indy in the past 2 years, since like 2018 to 2020. I would kind of consider him responsible for the revitalization of Xavier Rhodes and the upbringing of Kenny Moore. So I think that the scheme for at least the defensive secondary could sneak up underneath us, but not to the point where we would lose to it. It's just a matter of making sure that we can overcome their scheme with our talent at that point.
Yeah. Before I bring on Money Man, I want to make this point. And I think this is something that's worth taking in consideration. And I don't understand why a lot of people are just missing this point, because it's valid. This is incredible. When we talk about being on the road, one thing that you have to do, you got to get off to a fast start. Got to get off to a fast start. So if you have a young quarterback, in order for him to gain confidence, like, he's not had a full year. I mean, the dude had a 52% completion percentage. So it's like he's going to have to improve. Like, he's going to have to prove to Dean Pease first and foremost that he can complete passes, and not just complete passes, on the sideline. Like, that's the short passes underneath. Like, Dean Pease is not going to worry. He's not worried about those short passes underneath. Like, he deliberately designed passes where he can allow his linebackers and his corners to make plays on the balls. Like, that's what he does. He allows his linebackers to be the playmakers. When we talk about playmakers, I don't think I can say before Seattle, you can say Wagner. You can say Wagner and those guys up there. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but Bobby Wagner, he just went to the Raiders. I'm missing anything. But outside of those guys, there's not a lot of guys. It's not a lot of guys that there's not a lot of playmakers in the NFL that make plays like Deion Jones and Fourier. Like, Fourier showed you last year that he's a damn playmaker. Whether he can grab interceptions or he can force fumbles. This dude is a damn playmaker. Even on special team, when they put him on space, KJ Wright, that's his name. I don't know how I forgot that, but like, Fourier proved that he is a playmaker. That's what he does. He's a playmaker. And he's going to be one thing. I want you guys to go back, and this is why I put it in the community tab, so you guys can check out the film breakdowns on Dean Pease. He loves to use a lot of zone blitz. This is the exact same scheme that Pittsburgh has been using for years. This is how TJ Watt gets a lot of pressure. they use a lot of zone blitzes, and their linebackers are the reason why they make plays. And this is exactly, you go to the Ravens, you can go back to even the Patriots when Dean Pease was the playmaker there, with the play caller there. He uses his safeties and his linebackers, and he moved these guys around. So you got Deion Jones roaming around, and you don't know where he's going to be. Like, that's a problem for a rookie quarterback. He's a fast. He's okay. He's not the fastest guy. Like Jalen Hurts, he make what a 4.4, 4.5. He's not a very fast quarterback. He's not that fast. And you're running away from Deion Jones. They gonna have to. They got to get out to a somehow. The Eagles are gonna have to get out to a fast start, because if they don't get out to a fast start with this quarterback, Matt Ryan gonna get hot. He's going. That's what he does. Matt Ryan gets going early, and the only way you're going to be able to stop him is to get pressures and to get turnovers. That's it. And I just don't think with their secondary and those linebackers, first and foremost, that they are not going to be able to get turnovers.
Hey, confuse them. That's what they got. That's what DNP is going. That's why he's licking his chops right now, because he's like, shit. we gonna confuse them.
I mean, we think about it. Like, Dean Pease is coming out of retirement for the second time. You think he's going to come out here and probably one of his final games or final seasons in his career and come out conservative? You're out of your mind. If that's what you're thinking, he's going to come out here with guns blazing every single week. All right, because that's what built his career. That's what built his resume. That's what got certain teams deep into the postseason. And I certainly believe that we have the talent available on the roster in order to listen to the scheme and buy into it.
Exactly.
And you have a valid point there, because, like I say, anybody, like Arthur Smith took the job, and and we all thought when we heard that we was getting Dean Pease, we thought Arthur Smith called Dean Pease and asked could he come coach him. But in all actuality, when he accepted the job, Dean Pease called Arthur Smith and asked him, do you need some help in Atlanta? And if so, I want to come down there and coach with you. So this man was home. In the words of one of my OGs, he said he was home on the couch playing with his grandkids. And he came off the couch to come coach of the Atlanta Falcons defense. And when he got here, he clearly came out and said that he loved what the defense has. He loves our defense. So, I mean, for me, what I've seen him do in his career and what he's capable of, I can't wait to see what he gonna bring on that field come Sunday. Because don't get me wrong, I understand how great of a Ray Lewis. Like Ray Lewis, if not the best middle linebacker that ever played this game. But with me saying that, like, and there's no disrespect to Ray Lewis, the man was very athletic. He just wasn't Deion Jones. He wasn't Deion Jones or Foye Oluokun. And Dean Pease is in the situation where he probably looking like, whew, I got two linebackers on my defense that run just as fast as wide receivers. Oh, I'm gonna have a field day. These stunts and blitz packages. Oh God! Well, I tell people all the time, what people gonna do when he run a stunt? When he run a stunt with Deion, Foye, and Grady Jarrett, that line gonna be confused. Somebody gonna try to pick up a person and gonna miss their assignment, and it's gonna be open season on their QB.
All right, so we got a $2 super chat.
Trash,
$2.
trash, fly, trash, fly.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, man?
Money man, what it do?
You spent $2. He spent $2 just to get climbed.
Hey, let him spend the $2. Hey, that can go towards the candy.
Okay. My question to you is, what candy are you buying these days? Because this ain't 95.
Well. If we using that in Eagle money, that's probably gonna buy some bubble yubble or something.
Oh my God.
But money man, what's going on, man? But what you know good?
What you know?
Man, I was just listening to what y'all was talking about, man. About the DP situation and stuff like that. And teams gonna be scared of us because you got to go look back. You know how many years DP's been in retirement. Then what he have learned and developed in his retirement of seeing games for the last couple of years during his retirement. So they don't know what to expect of him. They don't know what if they go back. They got to study defenses with him with Baltimore and New England and all that. And those old tapes, the game of football has changed since those days. So they don't have nothing.
New concepts. He can come with totally new concepts. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So Philly don't have nothing really to prepare for Sunday. Same thing with Arthur Smith. You could go back and look at what he had in Tennessee, but at the same time, you got totally different weapons.
Well, the start of that is you definitely got a way better quarterback in Atlanta than what you ever had in Tennessee. So that's already.
You take the play action out of Ryan Tannehill. What are you left with?
You say what now?
I say you take the play action out of Ryan Tannehill. What are you left with?
500 yards and 4. Hey, I'm about to say 500 yards and 4 playoff games. That's what happens when you take the play action out of his game.
And there's a sidebar on that. The whole motion of Ryan Tannehill supposed to be in like this second coming or whatever. People forgotten that Tannehill been playing in the league since 2012 and have only one playoff appearance while in Miami. And the 1 year they had a playoff appearance, they actually had a running game, which ultimately helped again play action. So I don't understand what folks feel like this man just made leaps and bounds. I even hate the fact that seeing a national personality say that, when Tannehill took over the job in Tennessee, he ultimately catapulted them. I'm like, dude, did you not watch those 2 playoff games? The man had like 100-something yards passing in 2 games combined. They won those games off Derrick Henry just running wild. Like, I mean, like I said, on paper, Tennessee might look like a great team, but you gonna learn how important coaching is these days. Folks gonna learn real quick.
Hey, LT. So basically, what you just said there was Ryan Tannehill's number one skill set is doing this.
Basically. That's his best skill set. Just hand it off. Or do play action. That's your best skill set. People talk about them 40 touchdowns. Listen, man. If that miss come, if we go from 40 to about 28, you know why. You know exactly why.
So basically, what they're saying is Ryan Tannehill ain't really had an opportunity to win a game by himself.
When I last checked, they put the ball in his hands in the playoffs last year, and what did he do? It was his job. It was his job, for the same thing people like to kill Matt Ryan for, but it was his job to take them to the promised land. And within like 2 minutes of the drive being going, all I saw was Baltimore Ravens players walking on the field, stumping on their logo.
And this is a point that I want to bring up, all right, because this is something again that gets lost in the shuffle. Is that we're talking about coaching staff? Like we keep talking about coaching staff, play calling, and how that adds to not only the outcome, but like the second half adjustments. Do you guys think with the two staffs, you have a coaching staff and Arthur Smith? He's a guy, obviously, he's young as far as being a head coach and making those decisions from a head coaching standpoint. But Dean Pease, he's a defensive coordinator. But he's one of the defensive coordinators. Like he's been around. Like he's got about a 40-year history, just like a resume of just football knowledge. Philadelphia, when you look at their staff, they have a young coaching staff, a very young coaching staff. Like we're gonna start with Money Man, then we're gonna go to Noah and LT. But how do you guys who has the heads up as far as the coaching staff is concerned?
I think.
I mean, like I said, I did a little bit of a background check.
Hold on.
There's not a whole lot.
Wait a second. Wait 1 second. Go with no. Money Man. Go ahead.
All right. Just like
Money
I said,
Man. Let's go.
I think we do because you got a defensive coordinator that's on the staff that have been in the game, over a decade, and then an offensive coordinator which have been in the in the game for decades or whatever versus their young coaching staff and have experience in the NFL.
All right, Noah.
Yeah, I mean, Arthur Smith has called plays before. He understands his offense. He knows what it's going to look like. And Dean Pease, I mean, he's got the pedigree of having to practice against like a young Tom Brady and a mix and match kind of Ravens offense through over the years. Sometimes they were pass heavy, sometimes they were run heavy, sometimes they were not that great at either one. But the point is, he's got all this experience from all these different teams. And one of the things that I remember Dean Pease saying on one of his press conferences was how he likes Arthur Smith so much as a coach that even though this is his first year, he's not inexperienced around the facility. He knows what his team's going to look like. And he's got the attention-grabbing ability to rally a team around him. He's got the cadence of a coach. He's got the sideline presence of one. And like the game just doesn't faze him. I look at Nick Sirianni's press conferences and I don't feel that same kind of energy. So I mean, like, I know it's more than just energy levels, but come on, you got to have something. I understand that you can win over some of your veteran players, which is nice, but you were supposed to do that from the beginning. Like, that's not an advantage that you can hold over someone else. So I mean, when you take a look at just the sheer pedigree, Arthur Smith has, like, okay, think about it this way. His father is the founder of FedEx, or at least the co-founder. So, I mean, when you think about like how he was raised around nothing but hard work, nothing but about working smart, being efficient at your job, and just knowing how to command an organization. Otherwise, FedEx wouldn't be what it is today. If he doesn't have that upbringing, just as like a business person, just as a worker, and that goes into play when you talk about him just like building his own name up from the ground up, because he was like offensive line coach and a tight ends coach and some sort of like control specialist and whatnot. Like, he's climbed up to this point. Nick Sirianni had to climb up from college. And even then, it wasn't like the top schools. So you just got to keep that in mind too. Like, how much of the NFL is he familiar with?
All right, before we get the LT, let's go and hit this $5. Holla, holla, holla. Dan the man came in and said Matt is the best quarterback in the league on play action, considering the running game he's had for years. That's quite the accomplishment. Imagine if he has one.
To add to what he's saying, like the few years that he actually has had a running game is one of like usual like Ryan best years. Uh, '08, even though it was his rookie year and wasn't like eye popping numbers, but for him to be a rookie in that time frame, doing what he did and coming into the situation, amazing. 2010, 2011, 2012, he pretty much kind of took the helms, and 2016, like I said, with those years we had a running game, like Matt play game was impeccable. He was hitting any and everything.
Okay. But
I
what
guess
you
my
got?
time to talk about the coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm about
Well,
to say yeah.
let me say this. What Noah said, he pretty much took the words out of my mouth about Arthur Smith coming from a background where his father co-founded uh FedEx. But instead of this man could have easily been like some silver spoon guy, and I mean in a sense probably could have bought his way into higher rankings as an NFL coach. But he did it the right way. He started from the lower tier. He learned from that area. He perfected his craft in that area. He moved up, and he continued to move up until where he is now, which is a head coach. The man credential speaks for itself. You can see what he did in Tennessee. I tell people all the time, look at the coordinators that they had in Tennessee. Like Derrick Henry was very stagnant in Tennessee. He really wasn't making noise. But literally, the minute Arthur Smith became the offensive coordinator, the dude he became the Derrick Henry that a lot of people know and love now. So that was a lot of Arthur Smith doing. Dean Pease, of course, his name speaks for itself. Resume speaks for itself. Sirianni, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit the man, but like you don't know much about him, and like he said, he didn't really get his name off like top tier schools when he was coaching in college. And like I said, you got the job and whatnot. I mean, me and personally, I feel like the dude probably might be more of a placeholder for a future coach because teams do that. A lot of people don't realize that people do have coaches as placeholders until they get until a guy that they truly want becomes available. Unless Sirianni does something spectacular, as in making his team competitive, which, like I said, I just don't see that. Like I said, coaching staff wise, like man, we got it. Like when you look at the team from anywhere from head coach, offensive court, well, of course the coordinator came from Chicago or whatnot, but the way he did things in Chicago, it was a help. And with Arthur Smith and Dean Pease, those names speak for themselves. But when you look at our position coaches, all those guys got names and they credentials fit. Like like I said, our staff is definitely miles ahead of Philadelphia staff. It might seem harsh, Philly fans that's watching, but I'm calling it for what it is. I'm not being a homer here. Just me talking real football.
Hey, that's about as real as you can be, man. Shoot. That's
And
it.
go ahead, my bad.
You good, you good. I was just agreeing with LT, man.
Yeah, to kind of go with that, I want to address this as far as the Tony G ball skills hooper, Stephon. What do y'all think? Uh I like this. This is one of the things that bothers me. It's actually. Oh wow.
You can go. We got you.
Okay. All right. So there's a Philly fan, Mr. Dugat, who actually, he kind of broke down the game, and he's probably one of the smartest Philadelphia fans that I've ever encountered. And he pretty much stated that two things that bothers him as far as the team is concerned. And like for me, I've always stated with this Falcons team, it's always going to be the running game first. And I don't mean the running game by running backs. I mean running game by the offensive line actually coming together as a cohesive unit first and foremost. Because it doesn't matter, as we saw with Dallas, it doesn't matter if you have an excellent back. If your offensive line is not a cohesive unit first and foremost, you're not going to have a very good line, a very good offensive line. So what I'm bringing up the statement I'm trying to make is that we have Philadelphia, all right, and their linebacking crew. Can anybody tell me anything about? I'm just being honest as I possibly can. Can anybody honestly tell me something about that linebacking core?
There's more than one of them.
Like, I'm being serious. I'm so serious. Because what
you
I
said
heard,
you hold on. You mean like Philadelphia? Like you talking about they linebacker core?
Because why I say that is
well, I guess I could say that Jeremiah Trotter was real good.
Hey, don't forget Dahani Jones too.
Yeah, Dahani Jones is good as well.
oh my gosh.
And Kiko Alonso did catch a one-handed interception against us on Monday night. So.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. They had the Kale Spice for a little bit too.
They had the Kale.
You talking about now? I don't know anything about these guys.
Nothing.
That's why. And Chuck Smith, if you guys have not seen the Falcon, he did an interview with the Falcoholic, and he brought up the fact that the Eagles linebackers, all right, the Eagles linebackers were ranked, all right, and this is a huge matchup, and I know a lot of people like wondering what Mike Davis is going to be, but their linebackers were ranked. It was ranked 31st in broken tackles, so they weren't a very good tackling linebacking core to begin with. So I can put the link in the community tab so you guys can see that for yourself. But based on Chuck Smith, he like, I don't think anybody can doubt anything that he says. But like he says, this is like their tackling, the linebacking core is absolutely bad. So when you got a guy in Mike Davis, who we all know, yards after contact, this dude led the NFL. It wasn't Derrick Henry. They're gonna have a problem. So, Money Man. Then we go to Noah. Like, what are your thoughts on the running game? Like, because we're seeing not only Mike Davis, but they're throwing out that Cordero Patterson may have a bigger role in the running game than we all expect. So, what do you guys think, Money Man? Then we go to Noah. Your thoughts on the running game?
All right. You already seen what Mike Davis did in Carolina last year. I mean, the man was a workhorse. Hard stop. So, and you know what Arthur Smith made Derrick Henry. So with Arthur Smith and Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson ear, just imagine what you got out of Mike Davis. Last year was his really a year where he was starting consistent. And look what he did, almost put up 1,000 yards if he didn't put up 1,000 yards in just in a half a season. And he played in the same division.
Yeah, he ran through us the first game.
Yeah, he ran through us. He ran through us. No, what you got, bro?
I mean, if we can get Mike Davis to the second level, he'll be absolutely fine. And there's different ways to scheme that up. With screens, with just misdirections, with, I don't know, tosses. Just something to get that off, to get their defensive front moving and not just having to go just straight up one-on-one. Remember, we're a zone runs kind of scheme, and it's predicated on making sure that the running back has a lane for him to go through. And if it's not there, then he can create his own, like we just said. Like, he's got some ability to break through tackles. So that's not the problem. The problem is like just getting into the second level, and he can have a field day. Because I don't know who else is going to tackle him besides like maybe Anthony Harris. So
yeah,
when you think about that, and then you also want to think about Cordero Patterson, maybe he's going to be in that kind of I don't know, like Robert Woods type of scenario where it's just going to be or like maybe like a Debo Samuel, like whatever they use in order to like have him in the slot, just pre-motion snap and just take him up in a sweep. Then you don't have to worry about the defensive line at all. I mean, there's different ways to scheme different things to get people the opportunity to have the ball. And I think there's just a couple of those examples can be something that we can use in like the third or fourth quarter once we have the lead with our passing game early on.
So somebody say Atlanta no Julio. And look, I'm about to say the only thing I say is if y'all lose to Atlanta, what's the excuse gonna be? If Atlanta got no Julio.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. And the point I was going to make about that is Julio hasn't, in the last couple of years, Julio has missed, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 2 years, about 15 games, somewhere in there. Like, he's missed a lot of games in the last 2 to 3 years. So he hasn't been the focal point of our offense in quite some time. Yeah, he's still Julio. He can put up 1,000 when he's healthy, and he's going to put up big numbers when he's healthy. But last year, we didn't have him for most of the year. He actually he missed 9 games last year. So it's like Atlanta, no Julio. We haven't had Julio in quite some time. I mean, you guys have seen the highlights. If you guys actually pay attention to anything outside of Philadelphia, you would know that Julio Jones has not been practicing for us for the last 5 years or so. So like that's nothing new to us. That's nothing new to this offense. And I don't know how many times we got to go down the list of Matt Ryan and how many wide receivers that has left the Falcons and they've never been heard of again. So let's go. Should I put
before you continue, I just want to point out on the running back situation. Let me say that, like, because you touched on Cordell Patterson. I mean, what people don't realize, like, Cordell Patterson is, when he first came in the league, he was as a wide receiver, but the man do have running back size, and I'm here to tell you, if you let him get into your second level and your linebackers can't bring him down, your secondary for to use their track speed, because it's gonna be a foot race.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, like, and what Noah brought up, like, for saying scheming, like, you know what I'm saying, these, like, they I could tell during spring, during training camp, they've been really honing on the running backs being able to catch the ball out the backfield. And if your linebackers can't cover, that's barbecue chicken. Especially given a person like Cordell Patterson, he used to be a wide receiver, so he know how to run routes.
Mm-hmm.
He know how to exploit you in certain ways. So like if the Philadelphia Eagles linebacker core is basically their weakest link on their defense, it might not be a pretty Sunday. Because like I said, we just talk about the running backs. We ain't even talked about the fact that you still got to see Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm. And get this $5 holler. Matt Ryan to Philadelphia every time he plays them, and Philly fans do some research. Well, I'll say this. And Philly fans, like I said, yeah, you get the win, but when we talk about this Atlanta Falcons team, the biggest issues that we've had is that we can't convert in the red zone. We've never had any issues playing Philadelphia, moving the ball. You can look at the numbers for yourself. We get in the end zone, and we absolutely cannot score. We cannot create passes. I mean, you guys, I forget the it may have been McLeod. It may have been him. I forget who the safety was. It was the corner and the safety for Philadelphia. And when the Falcons came out in the formations, they basically said, based on the formation, we already knew what the play was, and everybody switched to that side.
Oh, that was Malcolm Jenkins.
It was Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins. Yeah, he said that was against us in the playoff. That was the playoff game we lost to them.
and they
I remember
already
that on the
knew
wake
it
up session.
was formation. So it's like the Falcons have never had issues moving the ball on Philadelphia, and despite what a lot of Philadelphia fans think, we've never had issues running the ball on Fletcher Cox. Now we've had issues protecting Matt Ryan because he's like Grady Jarrett. He's a pass rush machine. And that's why I feel like Mayfield, if we can kind of keep a balanced attack on offense, Mayfield's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Of course, he's going to get baptized. All right. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to take his lumps. His ass is going to get ate up by Fletcher Cox. Make no mistake about that. Fletcher's the real deal. When he's healthy, he's going to get ate up. But when we talk about, Fletcher, he's not as good stopping the run than a Grady Jarrett, Aaron Donald. He's not that type of defensive tackle. Very good, but he's not as good on the and we, like I said, there's plenty of tape in the NFL, like I said, that states this, that state that. But let's go. Should I do it? I want to get everybody's thoughts on this one. All right, and then we'll go to the Q&A parts of things. But this is something we touched on a little bit, but I want to bring up one topic on one specific thing. And everybody, let's start with Noah, and then we go to Money Man and Travis. Dean P stated that there's no such thing as a shutdown corner. Noah, what are your thoughts on that?
I was a bit. Remember, we don't have the NFL experience and the NFL pedigree like DMPs does. All right, like let's just get that out of the way first. Mm-hmm. All of us combined will never be as smart as football as DMPs. All right, I'm sorry. I just gotta say that right away. But regarding his statement about being a lockdown or like no shutdowns corners, like when you look at like the individual passing game and like how people have been schemed up against in the past, sure, there has been times where, even the best players like Deion Sanders and, Darrelle Revis and Rod Woodson, Champ Bailey, like whoever you want to put up there on the upper echelon, they've had games where they've been blown out by other people too and by other schemes. So, heck, I was just going to say this as well, like going back on the Fletcher Cox statement, I've seen Aaron Donald be held without a stat in certain games too, just because of scheme and just because of like being double teamed or triple teamed with a subpar offensive line too. So I mean, like there's different ways to scheme up against the best players, and it's just sometimes the coaching has to go above the talent of your opponent in order to get that to work correctly as well. So with DMP saying that there's no shutdown corners now, I remember this whole conversation about like on NFL Network about like LaDainian Tomlinson saying that in the past, and he got ran over by all these other former wide receivers. Mm-hmm. But it's just like that's just one opinion. I think that if you want to like back that up, I think that there's a couple of stats to say that. Like when you think of like absolute dominance at the position for a long period of time, there's very few people in the league that can say that. And even then, I think that there's been other ways to go about it against him. Right. Especially right now, I don't really see a shutdown corner. Like there's Jalen Ramsey, sure. There's Jair Alexander, sure. There's been Xavier Howard last year, sure. But I've seen weaknesses in all their games as well. So if he's talking about like there's not a cornerback in the league like ever with zero weaknesses, sure, that's true. But I think that when you want to talk about just as far as like a game plan, it's a bit iffy. Like I had a hard time accepting that when he said that, but I can because it's coming from him.
Oh man!
All right, Money Man, what you got? And excuse my nephew, 2 years old.
I'm gonna keep it simple. I don't believe that there's no shutdown corner nowhere and never will be. It's because I don't give a care how great of a defender you are. You're gonna get beat on routes. You're gonna get passes caught on you. You're gonna get scored on. I don't care who you are. You're gonna get scored on.
Mm-hmm. Go K-Style, go ahead.
That was sweet to the point right there. Hey, he
put the K-Style spin on that.
He put the K-Style on it, man. I like that. But like I said, I think what he kind of like he's saying is it's not so much as there's no shutdown corners. I think he just basically saying, like I said, it's all scheme. Pretty much everybody just agrees. It's like it's all really today. The NFL's defenses are all about scheme now because this is a wide open passing league now. It's not like it's like everybody's putting emphasis on running the ball like they did in the early 2000s. It's a passing league, so you have to exactly scheme. And plus, corners don't move. Corners don't roam. Corners do not move. They stay on one side. So is it really a shutdown corner, or you just really just playing one side and that's all you can do?
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Like, as far as in today's game, no. But I partially blame the NFL for that. Well, I more than likely blame. I put most of the blame on the NFL for that. They don't allow nobody to play defense anymore. And like a prime example of that, and I hate to bring it up, but like last night, now you clearly got an offensive pass interference that took place, but you don't call that. But if somebody blow on the receiver too hard while he running the route, you throwing flags. Like, that don't make sense. Like, as far as saying, I did believe back in like the younger days there was shutdown corners or whatever. Like, when I say, I mean, yeah, it happens. I mean, of course, it's part of football. You're gonna get scored on, whatever the case may be. But if you're not really getting smoked like that, and most receivers, like when they come to town, they only putting up like maybe like 50 yards and 4 catches or something like that. Like, you doing your job along with the rest of the defense, but you definitely holding on. Now, I will put, in his career, in his early years of his career, I will say, like a Desmond Trufant, because even though we didn't have the pass rush to actually get after the QB, this man was out here guarding wide receivers for like 7 seconds. But when you look at his numbers throughout the course of a season, he was only allowing like maybe like 50-something catches in the season. And that's good considering that, like I said, your pass rush was no help to you at all. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I can agree with his stance on that. Like I said, especially in today's game, it's hard for you to have a shutdown corner where, you not being able to touch the receiver like they did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's ask y'all this. Like, how often have y'all seen people get jammed off the line of scrimmage these days? I barely see that.
We talking about really jammed, or we just talking about this?
I'm talking about okay. I'm talking about, you remember how back in the day where like when they used to snap the ball and like the corner used to like put his hands on the receiver before he came off the line of scrimmage? Like, how often do you see that these days?
Oh yeah, talk about when the mouthpieces was flying trying to get off.
Yeah.
You don't see that no more.
You don't see that no more. See, like I said, we come from the era of that where when you come off the line of scrimmage, like the corner used to be able to go like push you to keep you from coming off the line clean, which used to disrupt the timing of routes. Right. You don't see that. They'll play up close, but they don't ever put their hands up. Like, wide receivers getting free release and whatnot. Like, no, dog. Like, they ain't the area I came from. I came from you getting jammed off that line of scrimmage.
So do you think it's more so like you said, it's more so of the rules, or do you think that it's really the schemes that like a lot of these defenses run now where they're teaching these corners not to really jam like that?
It's a combination of both. But if I had to put a percentage, I say 65 on the NFL rules and 35 on the scheme.
Makes sense. Yeah. I'm about to say, I haven't seen a good press in a while.
You can't. You can't, because if you put your hands on somebody, they throwing a flag. You be looking like, and then like I said, look at the rules. Like if you get called for holding on defense, it's 5-yard penalty with an automatic first down. Who does that? Like I've been saying, they need to switch that rule up for years. That is not fair for a defense. You basically giving the offense a new set of downs. If it's third and 15, and I get called for a holding penalty, they get a whole new set of downs. And it was a 5-yard penalty. Come on, man, that ain't fair. That ain't fair at all.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. What you got, Mike?
There hasn't been a shutdown corner in damn near 20 years. All right, let's just be honest. There will never be another shutdown corner. And just because a corner is good, he get interceptions, doesn't make him a shutdown corner. The rules just don't apply. And like I don't. There's outside of maybe Revis. Revis probably the last guy. Like the real Revis probably the last guy who can truly Champ Bailey. The real Revis, like those are the guys. Like those guys are probably like the last. If you can just, like you say, those they were true shutdown corners. They weren't tried at all. Like you didn't try Champ Bailey. You didn't try the real Revis. But like even that, like even a Deion Sanders, like the true definition of a true a shutdown corner. Was Deion really a shutdown corner? I can say he is, but he still had his battles against Jerry Rice. He had his battles against Michael Irvin, but that's about it. So it's like the true definition. That's why I say, the true definition of what a shutdown corner is. I tend to agree with Dean Pease. Like, there's no real true, shutdown corner. Because like even the best of the best, they got their behind handed to them. So it's like the true definition of it. No, I don't think there was ever a shutdown corner. But if you want to say, okay, that this guy hardly ever got burnt, now you got Deion. Now you got Revis. Now you got, Rod Woodson and Champ Bailey. Like now you can say that, but even that's a select few guys. You can say maybe 5 guys in the history of the game that were true shutdown corners.
Hey, since you said that, I got a question. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna put this back up here for reference for a couple seconds.
Oh God, you better not. You gotta put Gilbert up there.
So we can automatically exclude Richard Sherman out of the shutdown corner case.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, we got shut down by a front door.
Right.
Let me tell you, man, like, and that's another thing. You don't, just like I think Noah brought this up, you don't see like corners following receivers no more. Yeah, pretty much everybody can stay in one slot. They stay in one spot. Like you said, when you think about the Deions, the Revises, and whatnot, it didn't matter who that number. It didn't matter wherever that number one receiver lined up at. That corner was following him. He was his shadow that whole game. You don't see that today.
Yeah. So basically, what they're saying is it really coverage skills, or like I said, you're just good at playing that one side of the ball. That's what we're talking about as far as, are you really shutting down a receiver, or you're just shutting down a zone?
They basically shutting down a zone. Because like I said, if they're not following that receiver will go to a different zone and go off.
Right.
A prime example of that is, okay, you know how we always ran the cover 3 scheme under Dan Quinn. So now when we played the Giants at 18, they didn't get going on true front side. But when they moved Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham on the left side where Robert Alford was, both of them had over 100 yards apiece.
Yeah, and I think that's what's kind of messed up as far as these corners and their reputations and stuff like that. Because if you want to have a true shut down number one corner, you want that guy to follow the best receiver.
I agree.
Like I said, it's fine that you could shut a zone down, but that's not versatility at that position. Ain't none. I about to say if that's the case, I might as well put a phone booth in that zone. Put a phone booth in that zone because you just gonna be stationary on that side. Shit, let's put a phone booth there.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever kids looking at this show, they're gonna be like, Dad, what's a phone booth?
Hold on. Somebody said Nnamdi Asomugha. Nnamdi Asomugha was not a shutdown corner.
He was
not
Somebody,
Nnamdi.
Somebody else
He was
said,
nice, but
somebody
not
else said
Nnamdi.
Josh Norman.
Oh hell no! No! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Bishop Bullwinkle, what you got to say about that? Hell no!
Hell no!
No.
Hell to
boy, they took Josh Norman away from. They took Josh Norman away from that Carolina defensive line.
With Derek.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, the stiff arm of the gods.
Henry did to him.
Threw that man. He threw that man at the club.
If you look real closely, you can still see Derrick Henry's left or right arm on his left shoulder.
I'm gonna tell you something. When he tossed Josh Norman on that play, if you freeze frame it, I'm gonna tell you exactly what Josh Norman looked like. He looked like he's doing that flying Luke Kane kick.
Whoa!
Exactly. It's exactly what he looked like. He doing that flying Luke Kane kick. I was looking like, well, dang, all you need is some red pants and a bandana, boy. We can throw you can be a secret character.
Oh, I could do one better. You remember the first Mortal Kombat movie the guy Luke Kane fought? When Luke Kane kicked his ass on the ground.
Oh man. Let's get this
I remember that.
Let's get this $5, man. Let's get this $5.
True statement with the $5.
$5.
He said, what y'all take with DP saying that sacks and pressures are more about confusing the old line than the quarterback and who's is closest to being shut down now?
Yeah, we just answered the shutdown part. Noah, let's start with you. Let's start with you as far as like the what's your thoughts on DP saying that sacks and pressures are more about confusing the O-line than actually getting like trying to fool the quarterback. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that the offensive line and the quarterback, they go hand in hand in terms of like just figuring out the blitzes, like identifying the mics. Sometimes that's the quarterback's position. Sometimes that's the center's. Sometimes it's the center position that has to get everyone else in sync on the line. And if you have an inexperienced center, which you're probably going to get more often than an inexperienced quarterback, like quarterbacks are more known to read like the rest of the 7-on-7, like pass skeleton gun drills. So they can always seem to recognize some coverage. And it's like the blitzes that they always get confused at. But it's more so the offensive line because they got to have their job and just be in position to block and just be in position to make sure that they're making the stop everywhere. Because sometimes the quarterback can recognize it and maybe they can have their tight end motion back inside, help them out with the chip block on the right, on the tackle side, maybe use their running back on their hip and use them for pass protection as a chip before they go out to their route. Sometimes it's that, but then sometimes you have like corner blitzes, you have safety blitzes, you have linebacker blitzes, like coming around the 8 or like those stunts that scare you up in the middle. Like it's those, just being in position is exactly the same for the offensive line as it is for the quarterback. Like you want the quarterback to have a good pocket, but if you're scheming against that, then you got to split that offensive line. And you got to do that with other ways. Sometimes you got to have 4 offensive lines to the left, 1 on the right, and single them out that way. or vice versa. Maybe split them down in the middle at 2 and 3. Whatever the case may be, I think it's better to have one-on-one matchups for a blitz. That way, if you just do the simple hat count and you can sneak someone else on the other side at a point where they're not recognizing it, that's going to be the key for the zone blitz. You know, just making sure that you disguise your looks on the defensive front, making sure that maybe you have some people moving around, maybe not getting in the stance until the snap. That's also beneficial. It's also just like the pre and post snap behavior of the defense that's also crucial too.
Money man, what you got?
It's all about the money.
What was the question again?
Money.
That's the question again.
He was basically asking how did you feel about DP saying that getting sacks and pressures all about let's say confusing the offensive line. What's your take on that?
I don't think it confused I think the pressure, it don't confuse the offense. It just make the offense make mistakes. Because that's the purpose of the defense, is to make the offense make mistakes, fumble, throw interceptions, because a quarterback panics when he is not comfortable.
I can see. Did you go LT?
All I'm gonna say is the answer to your question is if you go back and watch the first preseason game when we played Tennessee, our third sack with Michael Walker is a prime example of that, because when the way the lineup was set up, it looked like the whole front was going to be coming on a blitz. But the two ends that looked like they were supposed to be coming on blitzes, they backed out. And based off how the offensive line is set up, they're supposed to be identifying who they think is the rushers or whatever the case may be. Well, by the last second, the two outside linebackers backed out. And they didn't even account for Michael Walker. So when the ball was snapped, they was looking at the people that was up front, and lo and behold, you just let a man run straight through your offensive line, straight to your QB, without no hesitation. Like if you want to answer to that, go find that play real quick, and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
And I think that's a perfect example, because when you look at the almost interception with Jacob Stewart-Mariner, I hope I say it down right now. I just call him Tui. Last year, it was almost exactly the same. They had Dion and Foyer on the outside. Those guys were both on the outside, and at the end, at the last second, Jacob, he was the defensive end. You know, it was a outside blitz. All right, both the outside linebackers came, and then you got Jacob Mariner, Stewie Mariner. He copped out. He dropped out into a zone, and that's what he's talking about. So it's like you may have a tight end on the end, and then you have a tackle. Well, if that defensive end is between the tackle and the guard, it's going to create that confusion whether or not he's coming, because he's going to have to step out. And if he steps out, well, that's going to leave a wide open lane for a guy like Foyer and Michael Walker, because like that's like these are the things that offensive linemen have to understand. If they don't pick that up fast, you're going to get quarterback hit. So like that's why you have guys. That's why Dean Pease pretty much stated that it's more so about confusing the offensive line, because as a quarterback, a lot of quarterbacks can't take hits. Like once they get hit one time, like real good, not everybody is Matt Ryan, not everybody is Tom Brady, who they can, take multiple hits like that. Some of these quarterbacks, they get hit one good time, they shake it. Everybody ain't Russell Wilson. Russell can take some hits. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we saw it with Derek Carr. Derek Carr, he's a terrific quarterback, but he get hit one time, his brain start to go haywire.
Well,
So
you touch Lamar Jackson a couple times, it's over with.
Oh yeah, Lamar Jackson too. K-Style, you want to get on that? What you think, bro?
Hey man, I gotta have to agree with LT on this one. Like I said, all the offensive linemen all have cues based on what they see, and especially that center, because the center is the guy making the calls before they line up. So that's why I always say the center quarterback exchange, as far as those two positions on offense, are two of the most important, because they have to know how to read these defenses. The center has to read the defense. Now all the guards and the tackles is playing based off of him. So if he sees something that looks this way, but it's completely different post snap, see, now you've already screwed up the offensive line right there. And that's what the great defensive coordinators do. It's not always about complex schemes. It's more so of making your pre-snap look and your post-snap look completely different. It don't have to be complicated. You just can't show your cards. That's all.
I'm gonna add to what you said about the whole, because the QB center, because a prime example of that is like, look how big it was for to sign Alex Mack, because they had said like at one point Matt was basically the brains behind the whole offense. He had to call the play, read the defense for himself, set up the protection with the offensive line. He had to do all of that. So when we got Alex Mack, he didn't have to do that no more. Alex Mack knew how to point out, the blitzers, what the front gonna do, this and the third. So it made Matt's job so much easier, because he didn't have to do all the extra stuff that he didn't have to do all the extra stuff again.
Oh, can I step in for a second real quick? Because you're talking about Alex Mack. Unpopular opinion. If Alex Mack doesn't play...
No, I know. I already know. I know exactly where you're going. Go ahead.
Unpopular opinion. Alex Mack doesn't play on a broken leg in the Super Bowl, we win the game.
I still don't use that as an excuse on losing. And there's no shot to you. I'll say that because, like, even with the broken leg, we still was in position to win that game. Overall,
that was true. But you gotta remember that sack that we had when we were at the 22-yard line, that was a result of Trey Flowers utilizing Alex Mack's weak leg.
True enough. But the sack came from off Jake's side. But I say that to say this, because you like you said, we was at the 22-yard line. Now, with everything that comes, like I said, what you said making sense. But all you got to do is run the football.
Damn ball.
Listen, you can talk about the broken leg, this, that, and the third, Matt taking a sack, but if your offensive coordinator just do what y'all did again,
run the damn ball.
If he do that, we not having this conversation.
Right.
I had to start off by saying unpopular opinion. That's why.
You're right.
No, you good, bro. That's good. Everybody got their own opinion, man. We ain't here to be best friends.
Yeah, bro. Trust me, it wasn't like I was trying to be shady towards you, dog. No, I was just saying. I was just pointing that out.
No problem.
That's why our philosophy. That's our philosophy. Run the damn ball. That's one of the reasons why. You come out passing the ball the way it did. That's why I absolutely hated Dallas' game plan. And quite frankly, I believe that Mike McCarthy is going to be fired at the end of this year. I'm just going to say it because he has not changed any philosophy. You're talking about two guys that pretty much exactly the same, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. Those guys, the exact same person. They said they've been watching film for they said they had a whole damn offseason to perfect their scheme, and both of them come with the same crap, the exact same crap. Both of them liars. He came out doing exactly what he did in Green Bay, passing the ball 60 times, no running game, and then Dan Quinn talks about.
Hey, I'm about to say I got something to say on that, and this is gonna sound funny as hell that I say this, but you notice since they got rid of Jason Garrett that they've been passing the ball more than they've been throwing the ball, passing the ball more than they've been running the ball. You notice that?
Even in Nike, like all I can say is Nike had a great slogan for Jason Garrett. Even if just clap, even if you can't coach.
Hey man,
but before you say anything, I will say this. Well, Mike McCarthy making Jason Garrett look like a genius right about now.
Oh, they mad as hell, boy. They like really, like I think what it was, the people got tired of him. Hey! But guess what? They brought in another coach that does the exact same thing.
The exact same thing.
But listen, when they broke the news and said they hired the man, I said only thing y'all did was hire Jason Garrett with more weight. That's all you did.
Bro, you gave Ezekiel Elliott the highest paid contract for a running back, and now y'all trying to X him out the offense.
That's crazy.
I mean, that man had 20 something, 30 something yards last night. I was looking
it was like 30 something yards, 40. It was not a good sight. But that's before we go to Q&A. I want to get this out of the way. I think Atlanta Hawks fans will absolutely love this. K-Style, do you know where I'm going with this?
Where we going with it? Where we going with it?
You don't know? You don't know? Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Hey, I did the pose too. Hey, I did the pose.
Hey, man, your boy Tre Young. Tre Young showed up to Friday Night SmackDown.
What the fuck?
But they in Atlanta?
He showed up to Friday Night SmackDown in Madison Square Garden as a heel, bro.
Oh
wow!
As a heel.
Oh, he basking in it.
And Sami Zayn got on a New York Knicks jersey.
Yes. So
do you see the symbolism? Do you see the symbolism with that?
Oh my God!
he got the New York Knicks jersey, and he's giving praise to Tre Young and saying that basically I concede to you. Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, with these Generation X proud brings to you is soon to be WWF
Tag Team Champions of the World.
There we go. The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws.
So we had to get there with that man. We absolutely had to get there. That was
them New York fans pissed as hell. Like, really, you brought this some bitch in here?
It's beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, man. That was absolutely beautiful. So
I'm gonna have my TV set on DVR for that game, not for Christmas now. I'm recording that game.
I saw somebody here said that he choked out Rey Mysterio or some shit like that. Like, wait, what?
Wildin', bro.
Hey, bro, he enjoyed. Look. I'll tell you one thing about Tre Young, boy. He knows nobody likes him. He's enjoying.
He really is.
But you know what? You know what made that, and like I said, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, but you know what made that series so wonderful to watch is because Tre Young was putting on a masterful performance against the Knicks in that series, and to have Reggie Miller do the commentary was making it that much better.
Yeah.
It made it that much better.
That was beautiful, man.
Like one of my favorite shots that he took, like it was like Game 5, and Reggie Bullock hit a 3, and Reggie Miller said, "Well, New York fans ain't the only Reggie that can shoot threes in this building." I just hit the floor. I said, "Bro, what? Look at the shade." The Knicks fans was on Twitter mad. It was like, "Nah, it's a crime. It should be a blasphemy." You had Reggie Miller calling the game, a closeout game against the Knicks. No, it's not. It's perfect. It's perfect in my eyes. This is the type of pettiness I live for.
Hey, look, I'm about to say, when we were talking about the game last night with Ezekiel Elliott ran the ball 11 times for 33 yards.
33 yards. Wow.
His best run was 13 yards.
So that means out of 10 carries, he got 10 yards, 20 yards.
His best run was 13 yards, and all he had was 33?
Bro,
listen, I ain't gonna lie. We could have had Mike McCarthy fired last year when we were beating the brakes off them, but you know his new best friend, the defensive coordinator, had to mess that up. But it's all good because we're gonna watch both of y'all lose y'all jobs at the same. You know, we ain't gonna get into that.
Hey, we may have lost that battle, but we're gonna win the war.
Win the war.
The eye was on the bigger prize.
Hey, look, they probably saying like, well, y'all beat us on that onside kick, so let's give you the virus of Dan Quinn in return.
I hope you enjoy it too.
Hey, you couldn't tell. Hey, you couldn't tell Dan Quinn nothing yesterday sitting in that booth. I said, look at this fool here, and they swear they got a true defensive coordinator.
Hey, he thought so. He
I was over there. I was at home looking like, damn, look at that. I said, boy, look at that Falcon defense. Oh, I forgot. They ain't us.
Yeah. Cause the main thing I was looking for how this Keanu Neal at middle linebacker was gonna work.
Yeah.
My objective was when they took that lead and they still like a minute of change left for the clock. I said, now this the party I came for, and this what I'm here for. I like this kind of party. Let's watch the defense blow a lead.
No.
All right, let's get into this. We'll go with Money Man and Noah on here, but. What are your thoughts on Marlon Davidson, man? And how is he going to start? Money Man, what you got?
Money.
With Marlon Davidson, I think he come from Auburn.
Right.
He was drafted out of Auburn. I think he's gonna be all right. This gonna be his. This right here gonna be the year that he really gonna come out and blossom under DNPs. Because if you put Grady Jarrett on one side and put him on the other, I think he's gonna blossom this year.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with my nephew. I'm sorry. I apologize if y'all hear. This dude is tripping. But you think he's going to be you think he's going to use him more like a pass rusher? Because I'm hearing like conflicting reports with him because I hear that he's playing next to Grady Jarrett, but I'm not sure if he's going to be like how would you guys how would you guys use Marlon Davidson, man? Based on what you've seen in the preseason.
All right, we don't on defense. Atlanta gonna have to be, we gonna have to be creative. We're gonna have to be creative with the defensive front. We're gonna have to be creative, and we know what we got, and know what everybody capable of. Even as fans, we know what we got and know what everybody capable of and know their potential. And just like I said, I think this gonna be the year he blossomed because now we got us a real true defensive coordinator. Just like what LT said, his resume speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I said, the reason why I say he's gonna blossom because you got to realize everybody on defense is happy and confident with the play caller.
Well, then, yeah.
So you're gonna get everybody's full potential. Everybody's happy with the
Everybody's
schemes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's happy. So now you're gonna get
Yeah.
all their potential because they're comfortable with how they're playing.
Hey man, I'm big on everybody know me. I'm big on chemistry. That's one thing I always say. I don't care nothing about what you did. If your defensive line and your offensive line doesn't play well together, it doesn't matter. So I totally agree with you. So Noah, what you got, man? What are your thoughts on Marlon Davidson? How the Falcons should use him?
So I see him on the depth chart. He's listed behind Grady Jarrett, but that's only because he's going to try to have Grady Jarrett's role on the defensive line. I still see Tyler Davidson listed as a starter. I'm slightly confused at that, but I know why, because he's more of a run stuffer than anything. Like when you think of the multiple front that we can put, let's say that we have Grady up in the middle. We're gonna have probably like, oh, am I hearing an echo? Okay. We're gonna have Bullard, and I want to say that's would be Tyler Davidson, kind of being like the 3-4 front. You're gonna put Means and Fowler on the outside of them, kind of outside the tackles. Then that's when you can put Foye and Debo up in the middle to plug up anything else that goes up front. It's just when you think about the situational aspect of the game, Tyler Davidson is probably going to be listed as a starter, but I can expect Marlon Davidson. Geez, why does he have to have the same last names? But you can kind of expect him to have more snaps than Tyler, just for the matter that Marlon's a better pass rusher, and that's what Dean wants to do up front and be consistently at it. So when you think about how the defensive line can be structured, like you're going to have Grady Jarrett on the field no matter what, because that guy has a motor that you just literally can't take him off the field. All right, so you got to maneuver around Grady on the defensive line. So do you put Davidson next to him, which they've done that in practice before, and it turned out to be successful? That's great. But I can also see him moving on the outside, like moving Grady on the outside, letting him be a defensive end, kind of having that Aaron Donald position, and then just letting them feast a little bit on the outside to get some stunts so that Grady can get some sacks there too. So it's a lot of fun when you want to scheme up this team. It's crazy, but that's what you like. You want like the physical talent to shine on the scheme, and that's what I think can happen here more so than Tyler or anyone else they can put there.
LT, what you got, bro?
As of right now, just keep him as a rotational player. I mean, for what I've seen in the preseason when he played, the boy definitely has potential to really see heavy minutes and possibly be a starter. But as of right now, keep him as a rotational player. Where he could give Grady a break, because like I said, in that role he could thrive. So you could keep Grady at 100%. And give him a couple of breathers when need be. Marlon Davidson could come on the field and hold his own for the time being. Then whenever you get to them, like them 3rd and long, like a 3rd and 8 or a 3rd and 9, you could throw both, Davidson and Grady on the field and have them both get after the QB together. You know what I'm saying? So like that's just how I play the role for the time being until I'm absolutely positive, and unless I'm absolutely positively positive that this man is ready to actually show up, be in the starting lineup. Just keep him as a rotational player for right now.
I know you got something on the K-Style. What you got?
Hey man, shoot, like you said, rotation, man. Like I said, I still got my gripes about Tyler Davidson, but I know, like I said, that's unforgivable, to be honest.
You ain't gonna let that go.
I can't let that go. If people don't know what I'm talking about, is last year this fool after Taysom Hill, after he scored a touchdown in the middle of a game. Nobody talks about it. I guess a lot of people didn't see it, but I saw
it. He did what now?
No, he dapped up Taysom Hill after he scored a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
See, you see what I'm talking? Y'all see what I'm talking about?
This again?
Tyler Davis.
And who did that?
He did that against the Saints.
He did that against the Saints. I saw it too. I was like, wow, I know he did not do that. After the man scored the touchdown.
You know what? I think now that you say that, I remember that happening.
You see that? Yeah. That's why I said. That's why I said. This is why I said. Call Dan Quinn. Is like, oh, okay, yeah, that's you dapped him. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We gonna go out to Dave and Buster's later on. Good job. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Dan Quinn. He do that under this regime. They gonna cut him. I think they gonna cut him the next game.
Mm-hmm. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. If y'all ain't seen Arthur Smith, Mike Oops, that man will be playing with them folks at practice, boy.
And that goes into the next question. All right, what are your thoughts on the new regime? As far as your favorite coach is concerned, like what guy? This probably goes a lot faster. But like who is your favorite coach right now? No, I'll just go with no.
Oh. Okay. Who? I mean, yeah, it's the obvious here, but another one that I want to mention is he's not gonna get a whole lot of attention. He's not gonna get a whole lot of like press conferences and whatnot. But Justin Peel, our tight ends coach, he's going to do wonders with that tight end group, because it's not just Kyle Pitts. It's also Hayden Hurst that's playing for a contract. It's Lee Smith that's playing for his role in the spot too. And we saw like the development of the tight end group.
I forgot about him.
So many of them. You know, it's like he was a former tight end for Matt Ryan too. You know, it's like he's got the communication with Matt. And if he can translate that from what his former experience of being a tight ends coach or just being a former tight end on the field, I know he wasn't productive on the field, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have the smarts for it. You know, because sometimes teachers are just better than being a student. So I think that can translate there as well. I think that, our position group is going to get a lot of looks. It's going to get a lot of attention from not just the media, but also from the defenses, and for good reason. So I want to give that man his credit.
Money man, what you got? Money.
I'm gonna go with Arthur Smith, because I'm an offense man. I'm an offense man. I like how creative he is on offense, how he used tight ends and how he used receivers and running backs, and just exciting to see, and just excited to see what we got with the weapons that we got. So, you know, he's the type of guy where we down 7 points on with a 2 minute or 3 points on a 2 minute drive. He can basically freestyle play callings to get us the score. He could draw up plays on the sideline in the timeout in the huddle, and we could score.
Yeah. K-Style. Yeah, go ahead, baby. My bad.
Well, I'm gonna add now what Noah said. I did forget. I do remember that we did sign Justin Peel, and like he said, with him playing with Matt, he could translate his knowledge of playing with Matt and knowing what Matt likes. He could translate that on the field, and I'm pretty sure that would definitely help our position. But I'm gonna go with what Isaac said. Definitely Dean Pease. How Money Man said, you know, he's an offensive guy. I'm a defensive guy. Defense is very important to me. And the fact that with Dean Pease is pretty much he's gonna pretty much try to scheme this team into success. And like for what I've seen in the preseason, man, our starters didn't even play, but I saw like a way better coach defense than I ever have during the preseason. So I'm definitely excited to see what he's gonna do with our starting lineup.
I was like I said, I was gonna say Dean Pease, but I'm gonna say Dave Ragone, only because
Son of a.
I'm gonna say Dave Ragone. Why, Mike? Because you was gonna say him too.
I was gonna say him.
But yeah, but yeah, man. Because I look at what he did in Chicago, and the one thing a lot of people that probably don't know about Ragone and Chicago Bears is, just like Arthur Smith likes to use tight ends as an offensive coordinator. Dave Ragone loves to use running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So the running backs have to be versatile enough, and that's why I said that's why these two are going to kind of click together well. And if you notice with Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone, that's two positions that's easy throws for Matt Ryan. That's easy throws for the quarterback. Those are the throws that he can get the ball out quick. They're designing the offense to where, okay, yeah, we might throw to the backs 7 times a game. Tight ends 8 times a game. But yeah, the only thing that hurt him was he had garbage and Mitchell Trubisky up there. That didn't help him much.
I'm gonna be honest. I would say that, but I'm gonna say he also was the coordinator of a guy that can't coach with a damn, and Matt Nagy too. But let me ask y'all this though before we continue. How long was Dave Ragone in Chicago? Can y'all tell me?
You said what?
2 years?
2 years, I believe.
I mean, because y'all say he's known for like scheming up plays for running backs at the backfield. So I'm asking because that means he had because he had Tariq Cohen at his disposal. So if and I've seen that man make plays.
Also,
Tariq
Cohen, David Montgomery,
Cordell Patterson.
I forget Patterson was in Chicago. So basically, he really fit to have a field day. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
And just for further clarification, him and Arthur Smith go way back in Tennessee as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, their offenses are predicated around making easy throws for the quarterback, so they don't have to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Matt gonna enjoy getting the ball out of his hands this year.
Ooh, boy, hey man, look, that's why I'm gonna say David Ragone, but I'm gonna say I gotta say Arthur Smith for that reason, because he's not just thinking about one level of football, and that's one thing that Dirk Cutter just never understood is levels to football as a passer and a defense. Like, you got to learn how to attack all levels, and that's something that we didn't do. All we wanted to do is throw the ball deep, sideline, outs, curl, deep curl. Like that's all we wanted to do. So it wasn't really attacking every level of the defense, and that's how a lot of teams just sat on a lot of routes. And quite frankly, I'm astounded how Matt Ryan just didn't throw more than 14,
12.
15. He took 12 interceptions this year. Come on. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how he did it, especially because everybody was sitting on routes. I mean, you go back to that Chargers game that everybody, I don't know how the hell that you can say with a straight face that Dirk Cutter actually called a good game when they was sitting on every goddamn path. They was literally sitting on everything. And you gonna tell me with a straight face, people, that Dirk Cutter called a good game? They was literally sitting on. I was going good until I was going good.
Hey, Mike. Mike.
So Mike. So Mike. So what you got to say about Starkeezy?
Boy.
I always say that, and LT may know where I'm going with this. I've always said that he was a better offensive coordinator than he was given credit for. You know,
I said we fired him prematurely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just got a head coach job at some school. I forgot. I seen the game Saturday.
Yeah, Texas.
Let me say this. Like with Sarkisian. Sarkisian was a scapegoat for Dan Quinn, which is why he ended up staying, another 2 more years. Because really and truly, like, Dan Quinn should have got fired in 2018. But they try to blame, like, Marquand Manuel and Sarkisian. And like I tell people all the time, like, I had to start being more logical about it. Sarkisian came in straight from out of college, never coached in the NFL, his first year in 2017. Now, after the first game against Philly, where we didn't do nothing in the red zone, if I'm not mistaken, I think we was like a top 10 red zone offense in 2018. We was getting TDs in the red zone. But then, like, Dan Quinn just wasn't, that defense of his just wasn't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
I think it was back-to-back games where we lost against the Bengals and the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I hated Starkeezy. I believe we in the best position that we'll ever be right now. We in the best position right now.
You're right. I
hated his
agree
play
with you
call. I wanted him going the first game.
I mean, you're right. He wasn't that bad though, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was not that bad.
He was forced into that. He was forced into that playbook. That wasn't his playbook. That's what we got to all remember. He was forced to try to run Shanahan's offense. That wasn't his offense. And yeah, he learned something from it, and he took it to Alabama, but that wasn't his, like, that's why I said he was a much better. And what people don't realize, you go back and look at the stats, and I've made several videos on this, and several you guys follow me on Twitter, follow all of us on Twitter, but I've stated the numbers actually wasn't bad as far as the rushing yards are concerned. It was damn near identical from 2016. So the running game, no, we weren't. We go back to what I was saying. We just, like, when we played Philadelphia, our only issue was getting into the red zone. And that's what we talk about, creativity. Creativity as a play caller. And, like, I can't even say he wasn't creative. Like I said, I just thought he was forced into trying to run Kyle Shanahan's offense. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Like I said, that scapegoat, and like you said, you gotta remember that year he wasn't the only one that got scapegoated. Richard Smith fans got scapegoated like a mud too.
Ooh, wow! I forgot about that. Boy,
they got scapegoated the same year. All 3 of them.
Who you say?
Richard Smith.
He was the D coordinator.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Damn Gilbert.
All right, man. We're gonna get into. Go ahead.
I was like, that's why that goofy ass motherfucker got eliminated in the Royal Rumble in 8 seconds.
Yeah. Hey man, let's get into these closing statements. How about we just do predictions, and then we do, like, if you got anything to say after that, like Noah, and then we go Money Man. As far as your predictions for the game Sunday, and like, if you want to add anything as far as around the league, you can kind of add that to that. So Noah, let's go.
Well, I'm not gonna say an actual score. I'm more used to just a margin of victory.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm gonna go Falcons in a 2-score game. I'm predicting it to be a low-scoring game. I think that it's still just going to be a bit sloppy. It's not going to be complete perfect football. Like, we can't expect that out the gate. So that's just one of the things we got to keep in mind. Like, we saw in Tampa Bay, that was the case last night. Like, they were supposed to be Like, that Tampa Bay team was the last team, in my opinion, that should have been rusty. And yet they still were, because they had everyone coming back. But I think of just the effectiveness of our coaching. All right, like, we look at the back half of our season last year. We didn't have Dan Quinn. We didn't have all these, like the stench of the previous regime once we got later into the season. But guess what? Just on talent alone, without coaching, like, I'm not saying that Murray or Morris and Ulbrich are bad coaches, because they got their spots and positions in, like, LA and the Jets. But I think that was more so because of our just pure talent. We were able to keep Justin Herbert under 20 points. We were able to keep Patrick Mahomes for a long time on just 10 points. We were able to show the blueprint and just keeping Brady for 7 points in 3 quarters. Like, we've done that before. We've been in positions where just our defensive talent and our coaching we just established is far better than what it was at the start of last season. We got a better roster now than last season. We have a little bit more depth at our crucial positions. We have some more proven talent. Like, we already talked about Marlon Davidson earlier, but AJ Terrell as a corner. I think we're going to get some decent looks from our safeties, and not just the starting 2, but also getting some more looks from Richie Grant and Jalen Hawkins and the secondary, just to get their athleticism on the field before we get the smarts of Eric Harris and Deron Harmon. I think that just on talent alone and a paper matchup, I think we can get a 2-score victory against Philly, because everyone's going to look rusty. But I think that our just sheer talent across the board can get us to a win early on. And that'll be a statement win for our culture, which we need.
Woo! Yes. Money, 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 man. What's going?
All right. For Sunday, just like I said, these are my predictions. I think the score is going to be 27-13. Remember those 2 numbers.
Oh, wow.
27-13. Wow. I believe that we're going to apply a lot of pressure on defensive side. We're going to apply a lot of pressure up front. But I believe our secondary still got a little bit more ways to go. We give Jalen Hurts or Joe Flacco time to throw. I believe they can still pick our defense apart a little bit. If we can put pressure from the beginning, from the front, it's going to cause the offense is going to cause the offense hell. But I believe we're going to come out on top, 27-13.
Ooh, all right, 3-score game.
3-score game.
Damn, I said AT&T. Let's go. What you got?
Well, it just be like that. Man, he say that because he know my phone lost. That ain't psychic hotline over here. That's why he say that. I can't never let this joker don't never go dry sometimes. But I mean, to be honest though, I didn't give a score, but what Moneyman just said, that was kind of like close to my prediction. I said anywhere from I was like either 27-14 or 27-17. I mean, just as an overall having a better coaching staff, a better talented team. I mean, I just feel like Atlanta would definitely get the win this year, and like Noah stated, we need a win in our culture. Especially this fan base, this God-forsaken, black mama venom sucking fan base that is known as the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of y'all, I just can't stand. Y'all get on my damn nerves. But I just I mean, with kind of like closing remarks, but I am very excited for this season. We are finally getting what we've been begging for: quality coaching, an offensive coordinator that knows how to run an offense and a defensive coordinator know how to coach up a defense. We've been begging for this for years, and now it seems like we finally got it. I'm very excited for this team. I'm very excited for this season. I hope y'all do realize that even though a lot of you Falcons or you fake fans that like to talk about we gonna suck this year, you do realize that a lot of the people that we're playing not really that good, or their quarterback staff like minimum experience. You starting off the year with Jalen Hurts. Yeah, you playing Tom Brady, but he's older. He really ain't been crap for the last couple of years. He's been playing on good teams. You got the Jets, trash. I mean, come on, it's the Jets. I mean, you playing against the Panthers. Sam Darnold might be decent, but you know they got their situations going over there. I mean, it's so. Yeah, you got the Giants. You got Danny Dimes or discount Eli Manning as I call him. You got we got the name redacted after that.
Wow.
Hey man, don't sleep on them though.
No, they did that. They got a good defense. They do got a good defense. I just don't believe in Fitzpatrick. I mean Fitztragic. I mean Fitz pick six. His name is Fitzpatrick. This is his name. My bad. I'm sorry. I be getting confused because sometimes I'm so used to seeing him throwing like him being Fitz Magic or Fitzpatrick, and sometimes it be shit's tragic and it just I got so many nicknames for that man. It's ridiculous. But I mean these are the teams that we are playing. Of course we got Dallas. You seen what they look like. I can't wait for that game, Lord Jesus. You can't get it back. I can't wait for that game, Lord. But I mean, like these are the teams that we are playing. Like I said, I'm sitting here saying we're gonna be a Super Bowl team or a playoff team. No, but if you believe that we gonna finish with the same record that we had last year or the same amount of minutes last year, you out your rabbit ass mind. Because I can finally say, for over 30 years of my life being a Falcon fan, I can finally say that we ain't the same old Falcons. We are not the same old Falcons. So enjoy the season, people. It's going to be a fun ride. That's all I got.
Let me say this before. Go ahead, K-Star. You want to go? Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you.
See, I was trying to be nice. Now, just you put this on the damn screen. I hate you, Mike. I really do. I hate you, dog.
I want
I
to say
was doing good.
No. This is gonna be positive. That's not gonna be too bad. It's gonna be a positive I can possibly put it. It baffles me to see a franchise that has had quarterback after quarterback been absolutely tragic when it comes talking about choking. None bigger than Mr. Donovan McNabb. This dude has choked in every look, whether it's gagging, all right, spitting,
or literally throwing up in the Super Bowl.
That man.
Oh, you talk about Willie Beeman.
Willie Beeman, yes, Willie Beeman. Yeah, that man done choked in so every which way you can choke, he done choked. And you got the nerve, the unmitigated gall to sit up here and say Matt Ryan chokes. Carson Wentz, the guy who can't stay healthy for nothing. This dude is a walking crash test dummy. He step off a damn curve, he gonna sprain a damn toe. All right? Not even to talk about Jalen Hurts, who lost his job to Tua, and Tua is about to get ran up out of Miami, and you got the nerve to say that Matt Ryan chokes. People, it's time that you use this thing upside your head. I don't whether it's this big or that big. All right, use that motherfucker. Okay, please use that motherfucker. All right, it's not a crime to use your damn brain. Or if you don't want to do that, if you want to get your friends, your cousin, your sister, your baby, all right, All you have to do is type in Google Matt Ryan comebacks, how many times he's choked. All right? You can Google it. But please get your facts straight. All right, Philly fans? I know it's hard for you guys. All right, because half of you guys probably can't spell the word B. All right? Y'all probably can't even spell that. You can't spell that. I know it's hard for y'all. All right? But please do me a favor. When you come back, even if we win or we lose, okay? Please tell me something about your franchise other than, oh, we won the Super Bowl. Oh. All right? Yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but you gave up 500 yards to Tom Brady to even do that. All right? So, all right, let's just keep it 100. All right? Let's just keep it 100. Come back when you lose, because I want to see the same people that's been trolling all this time.
Hey, Mike. I got the names written down. I got the names written down.
Give it to him.
But yeah, like I said, this is the same guy who probably think that Nick Foles the greatest quarterback that ever lived. All right, bro. But
I mean, Mike did say
But the thing is, it's kind of weird to have a Super Bowl MVP, but you paid the motherfucker that got hurt, and now you got neither one of them.
Yeah,
that is wild. And Mike brought this up because he said, think it's still free, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. But the government working on it.
I heard about that, boy. They finna goddamn shut all this shit down.
They working on it. They're working on it. Maybe it's gonna charge you to think now. But I need y'all Eagles fans to do better because y'all want to talk about people choking, but dog, y'all literally had the two QBs that y'all had on y'all roster during that Super Bowl run. Neither one of them play for y'all right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. They got rid of the Super Bowl MVP the year after, and they cut the motherfucker the year after that.
And speaking of choking, how can you talk about Matt Ryan choking when literally Carson Wentz took his job away too? They benched him the following year. Wow. Y'all weren't even gonna make the playoffs until they benched him.
Wow.
It's a kind of what it is.
Look, this dude probably doesn't even know who Donovan McNabb is, to be honest with you.
Can you tell me who Kevin Cobb is?
Oh, he don't know who Kevin Cobb is neither. He probably forgot Doug Peterson was a quarterback for the Eagles too.
Oh, hey man, we got some historians up in this piece, bro. We got some historians up.
Can you tell me who Jay Feely is? AJ Feely, I'm sorry.
AJ Feely.
And Terrell Owens.
Oh, he can tell you Terrell Owens, but he can't tell you who James Thrasher is.
Oh no! Hey, don't forget. Hey, look, don't forget Greg Lewis. Don't forget what Freddie Mitchell, the guy that said he had the greatest God. He thanked God for his hands.
Can you tell me who Deuce McAllister is?
Probably.
Deuce Staley. I'm gonna say Deuce Staley.
Look, the only Eagle he probably knows.
Ooh, that's one. That's a good one.
Hey,
you brought up a good one.
He probably don't remember Deshaun McCoy.
No.
Can you tell me who Hugh Douglas is?
Ooh.
What about Lito Shepherd?
Oh man,
Sheldon Brown.
Come on, son.
We know him.
Listen, we know.
Like I said, we football fans. Don't think it's just Falcon shit over here. We football fans over here.
Oh, we do this over here, partner.
I'm saying
how much do you appreciate Brian Westbrook?
He probably don't even know who that is either.
Damn.
Hold on that ass, all right?
Probably don't remember Brian.
It's like what Eric said, Matt Ryan took pay cuts just to help his team. That's real loyalty. And Deion Jones, Deion Jones has got his pay cut today, got his contract restructured today.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And all I'm saying is Matt Ryan ain't ever getting benched for Nate Sudfeld.
Wow.
Just to see what he's got.
shit! I forgot. Look! I forgot who that quarterback was. They benched the vote.
Yo, I forgot about that one. Wow.
Who you say?
Nate Studfield. Studfield, whatever.
Studfield,
oh God! Oh wow! Jesus! Wow!
One of us a good one.
Like I said, most of them probably don't even know half of the guys that play for their team in their history.
Right.
Let's just keep it real. And like I said, if you got to come to somebody else's channel to troll when you got your own channel talk about your own team.
Who was your starting QB in 2015? Quick. I know.
he gonna say Michael Vick.
Hey man, y'all.
Look! I remember when the Eagles had that dream team, and all them Eagle fans thought they were going to Super Bowl that year.
Oh boy,
I remember that.
Damn. And Dream Team came to the Georgia Dome and took an L.
That's why Asante Samuel came to the Falcons. He didn't want to be with that shit.
Hey, K-Style. Hey, they let Chip Kelly come from goddamn come to Philly and messed up the whole team.
Boy, he ran that
team up and
boy.
Straight to the ground. Boy.
And haul ass on.
He no-huddled that team to a losing record.
Oh, Bobby, he made a good point. Yeah, they do got a statue of Nick Foles.
You serious? Oh, I thought that was a joke.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it now.
That is not his name.
Oh no, we're not gonna say his name, Travis. We're not gonna. We gonna
Philly. Okay. They ain't what I heard. They ain't what Philadelphia fans call him.
Oh, I know what they call him.
No, sir. We not
I might say. Do we need to say it? Or do we just know?
Go ahead, man.
Hey, Falcon fans. There's a particular nickname that these Eagles fans give Nick Foles. LT, you want to do the honors, or should I do the honors and tell you what they call them? I just found out today. I didn't even know.
You just found out, bro. I've been wilding since I heard it, and that was a couple of years ago. Woo! And then right by the grown ass man was called another man, Big Dick Nick.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
And then had a commercial with him at a urinal taking a piss, and a dude came and stood next to him in a urinal too taking a piss, and he looked over and looked down at that man Johnson, and he just looked at him and just like that head shit like, all right. Like, no, that's nasty. That is nasty.
They ain't got no reason to talk shit about nobody if they name it somebody.
Whatsoever. Wow.
If that's an official nickname for him, I don't think an Eagle fan need to be talking shit no more. Nah, bro. You don't like if you a grown ass man and you calling somebody that in praise. Do you know what that sounds like?
Sounds like you don't have your priorities straight.
Nah, you got them straight.
No, they straight suspect. That's what it says.
Oh boy.
God.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
God.
Bro, King Hodgley just brought up another point. They said the Eagles fan. He said, "Don't the Eagles got some."
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Put the comment up.
No, talking about EDP 445 or somebody like
that. Oh Lord! Oh, I forgot. That was y'all need a spokesperson.
Ooh.
Philly.
That should be a stain.
Boy.
That should be a stain.
Boy,
and you trying to come on the Falcons show and try to troll? But do you know who you talking to?
Look, I heard they like to throw batteries, boy. I ain't know they like to choke on them too. That kind of nigga.
This
All right,
is
man, we gonna end this one right now.
We gonna end this one. This was taking a turn, boy.
But you should have sat there and just looked at the video. You should have just sat there and watched the video.
Yeah, like I said, I got names here. I got Rashad, Philly Fan D, Life of the Living 20, and Philly Podcast. I'm expecting y'all to be the first ones on the post game show when to lose.
Make sure you wear your BDN jerseys.
Oh man,
they're gonna come in here with a Duracell hat on.
Oh my God! Hey man, we done.
Hey, look. I say one. I say one thing. He said Nick did what. Nick Foles didn't. Look, if Nick Foles did what he did that match, he should have never got released in the first place. So what does that really matter if you cut him? A Super Bowl MVP. So
y'all had to make a life decision on choosing Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. Y'all chose Wentz, and now you ain't got neither.
Exactly. And then the bad thing about it, both of the running backs that ran y'all asses to the playoffs was off the team the next year too.
Dummies.
So if Nick Foles did great things, why you let him go? He's a Super Bowl MVP. Why you let him go? You chose a motherfucker that was injury plagued and gave him the goddamn franchise contract. Now y'all owe that man $33 million a year.
And traded that man away from some baseball chewing gum.
Can we just be honest? Let's just say that was ultimately what the Saints 2009 Super Bowl season was. Pure luck. Just gonna be real with it. It was just pure luck.
This is what we talk about. See, and I noticed something too. I've noticed this pattern, and I've never said this before. I've noticed this pattern. A lot of people like to throw the Super Bowl to the quarterback thing, but have you noticed that before 2017, how that was never really an issue in the first place?
What you mean?
No, what I'm talking about is people throwing Super Bowls and quarterbacks and saying that if you ain't got a Super Bowl, you're not a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
you're right. Pride. Really and truly, the year it was 17, but the year that we made it, that's when they started throwing that out there. If you ain't won a Super Bowl, you're not a Hall of Famer, which is very much false.
Yeah, but
very much false.
But yeah, bro. I didn't. But I found that is not a nickname you give another grown ass man. I'm just gonna say that right now. Ain't no.
Hey, I'm surprised you said you just found that out today. But I heard that cap a couple of years ago, and I was like, when it was told to me, I said, "Run that by me again."
The only thing I knew was they constructed a mural and a statue of his ass. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the damn play. The damn players didn't even want Carson Wentz, and they chose Carson Wentz over him.
Hey man,
so sad.
Too bad, so sad. All right. Well, that's the
end. You should have just sat there. You should have just sat down and watched the show.
We appreciate everybody for joining us, man. If you are new to the channel, all right, even if you Philadelphia fans, all right, we had fun trolling y'all asses. Y'all hit that subscribe button too. All right, you want to keep coming with it, we'll keep giving it to you. But with that said, man, K Styles, go ahead.
Well, like you said, y'all continue to support the channel, AFN, Mad Mike Sports, 6-Man K Styles. Hey, follow your boy follow your boy LT. Hey, LT, I'm surprised you ain't plug the Twitter space, man. Plug the Twitter space.
Hey, man, follow me on Twitter at wordplay_kid26.
Okay. And like I said, y'all gonna see a lot more of Noah. Like you said, You're going to see a lot more of Noah. Like I said, we appreciate him tuning in, Money Man, LT. But you already know what we say around here. AFN, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here. Bang! Oh!